I'm Haley Sierra and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how to improve your calligraphy. So let's get straight into it. So the very first tip is to practice your calligraphy first. Whether it is elementary school level calligraphy, just grab a marker or a pen or whatever and just get right into it to see how comfortable you are with it. I recommend trying common words such as the days of the week and the months, because these are words that you will be continuously writing over and over again in your bullet journal. So it's just great practice to learn these words first. I also recommend going to Pinterest to look at different reference words just to see the different styles that they have, which actually leads into tip number 2. Since there are so many different ways you could write so many different letters, going on Pinterest to find different references for the alphabet and all of that, to find all of those different styles is just great. I have some examples here. Some they look better than others, some are easier to do than others, but it's all personal preference. That's why it is important to try absolutely everything. Number 3, once you have your style, then you have to visualize your downstrokes. So the number 1 rule in calligraphy is when a line is going down, that line is going to be thicker. And when you're writing and the line goes up, those lines are going to be thin. So you have thick downstrokes and thin upstrokes. When you are writing with a marker, it is kind of difficult to get used to, but a good way to kind of ease yourself into this rule is with faux calligraphy. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've written Monday, Tuesday, and January all in regular cursive, and then I went with another line next to the downstrokes to kind of show myself where that thick line will be. So I made a little dotted line next to all of the downstrokes, and then on the bottom line what I'm doing is I'm making a solid line next to all the downstrokes and then coloring it in so I can actually see what the word would look like if it has all of those downstrokes, implied within the word. So yeah, getting used to the downstrokes and upstrokes are definitely one of the hardest things about calligraphy, but I think once you've practiced enough with faux calligraphy, then you can, jump into doing actual calligraphy. So what I recommend before getting into actual word is doing drills and getting used to the different pressure changes and the transitions between the thin lines and the thick lines. So what I've just done is I've drawn a whole bunch of kind of like these hills, and with going up I drew them thinner, and then going down I drew them thicker. So doing those drills are just very, very good to do, very good practice. So tip number 5 is to practice with tools that you already own, because let me tell you, brush pens are not the cheapest. They're actually very expensive, so I would recommend using a marker that you already have. And one of the most popular markers are, of course, Crayola Super Tips. But while using the Crayola Super Tips, you have to keep in mind that they are not brush lettering markers. They're not made for brush lettering. Even though a lot of people do, the tip will just wear down really fast if you put too much pressure on the marker. So what I recommend is that for all of your upstrokes, you use the pointy part of the marker, the tip of it, and then for the downstrokes you use the side of it so that you don't wear out the tip, and then so you can continue to make the thin upstrokes without, struggling. So as you can see with me doing the examples here, I actually rotate my marker a lot so I can continue to get those thin lines without having my marker wear down, and of course just changing the angle of which you're writing so that you can get those thin upstrokes with the tip and then the thick upstrokes or downstrokes with the side. I'm confusing myself over here. But of course, practice makes perfect, and the more you practice, the better you will get at it. I actually have a calligraphy notebook that I should have showcased in this video, and you can see the progress that I made from May to now, and it is a huge progress. And I definitely recommend getting just a simple notebook from like the dollar store where you can practice all of this lettering and see your progress as well. So after I did the first 3 examples, I hopped into use my Tombow dual brush pen, a brush pen that is made for brush lettering, and you guys probably see the difference between the both of them. The brush pen looks a lot smoother and looks a lot more natural, I guess you could say. So when you have, practice a lot and feel comfortable with it, I definitely recommend investing in a brush pen. And then right here, what I'm doing are a little bit of extra tips that I've actually learned from Amanda Rach Doodles. So the little letters that have hooks on them, like M, N, H, and R, I make the second hook actually a little bit lower, and it just kind of adds a little bit flair to the letter. Straight lines in letters, I actually add kind of a curve with the P and the B. And then I like to add nice fancy curly tails, like with the H, the M, and the Y, just to make it, I don't know, look a lot prettier. It definitely makes a difference when you are writing those words, and I don't know, they definitely look a lot better. And then some more extras just for some different lettering styles and to kind of get a little bit advanced. I love using drop shadows, especially in my titles and all of that, and when I'm using markers that are a little bit lighter and you can't really, you know, tell what it says. Drop shadows are very great. So once you've decided where the light source is coming from, so in my examples, my light source is coming from the left side, I drew a black line on the side or on the right side of all of the letters, so it makes it look like it is a shadow, and it kind of looks really cute. And then with February, I kind of drew that line not touching the letters, and it kind of gives it a different drop shadow effect that also looks really, really cool. And then right now what I'm doing is a block letter effect. So I wrote the word January, and then I'm taking a black marker and outlining it. And then I also just kind of add a 3D effect, which makes it look super, super cool and has that really nice block letter effect. And this is just great for titles. But anyways, I know that was a lot of tips in one video, but it definitely, those are definitely the steps that I took to help improve my calligraphy, and anybody and everybody can be good at it. You just always have to remember that practice makes perfect. It does not come overnight. It takes quite a while. It depends how much you practice, but once again, I do recommend getting some kind of dedicated notebook for practicing your lettering so you can see that progress, and so you can also just practice, and just use as much space as you want, use as many pages as you want, something that's of course inexpensive so you can buy as many as you want. And yeah, just practice makes perfect. Always remember that. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Even if I only helped one person, I will feel, you know, kind of accomplished. But I hope this helped you as much as it helped me when I was first starting. Make sure you go check out all of my socials at I'm Haley Sierra. Check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. And yeah, I will see you guys all next time. Bye, guys.